Hey wonderful people, today I want to talk to you about picture profiles. Now I made a video a while ago, which you can watch right here, on how to install custom picture profiles on your M6 Mark II. There I talked about CineStyle mainly. That is still my favorite picture profile when I'm filming videos for clients and things like that. However, when you're doing a combination of videos and photography, it's not the most useful. So what I've done is over the last little while, I've been playing with the color picture profiles to try to come up with something that works for everything. So when you're shooting photos, picture profiles don't really matter. Raw is raw. I would recommend that you probably would just want to shoot in standard if you're just shooting photos, because it's going to give you a better idea of the basic color palette that you're shooting. And once you get into editing software, it really doesn't matter. You can just edit it as you need to edit it. But today I want to talk about those of us who are doing photos and video, especially those of us who are switching between them all the time. So if you're out vlogging and you're taking photos, you don't want to be shooting photos in a flat picture profile. It's really hard to figure out your exposure and everything when you're just shooting with a simulation on the screen. It's not that the photo is going to be bad, because again, in RAW you can adjust things, but it does make your life a little bit more difficult. And when you're trying to vlog in a flat profile, it can be very difficult to get your exposure right too, because that does affect the video. Yes, you might get a better dynamic range, but in most cases, it's going to be more work to edit and just slow down the whole process. So when you're trying to bang out YouTube videos, I find the best thing is a flexible picture profile that can also just be used straight out of the camera if you need it. So I wanted to share with you my settings. So this is what I've come up with. Where's my notepad? I dropped it on the floor. Just a minute, I dropped it on the floor. So this is a picture profile that I've come up with. I've tried so many different types. You'll probably notice if you go back and watch my videos, they change. Every video, it looks different. I'm trying different LUTs, I'm trying different edits, all that sort of thing. And in the end, I found that color grading in my camera, coming up with something that I liked the look of, was the best. And I wanted to share it with you guys. It may not suit you, you can tweak it to your heart's content, but this is the one that I found is the best for me. I can use it. In fact, right now you're watching a video, I've done zero color grading, none whatsoever. You can have your own opinion on how you feel about it, but this is my picture profile. You're watching it right now, and here are the settings. So sharpness, I set down to -2. You don't want to over sharpen in the camera, but I found that when I went too flat, that it was hard to bring any sharpness back out in the edit. This way I've got a good usable sharpness that I can bump up a little bit if I need to without it looking unnatural. Contrast, that's at -2. Same sort of reason. I want to bring out some detail in the shadows, but if I bring out too much, make it too flat an image, again, I just find that once I pull it back to a natural looking contrast, that detail is still just as dark as if I used this one. So what's the point? Saturation. Saturation I think is a big one. When you're shooting with a Canon camera especially, we have quite warm tones. It's something people quite like, especially with skin tone. Saturation though, when you bump it up a little bit, it can start to look a bit red, a bit pink, a little bit unnatural. But at the same time, when you drop it down too much, you end up with it washed out, and bringing that color back is a lot harder, I find, in the edit. So a little bit less saturation, just -1, I think just tweaks it that little bit for me, where I think it looks natural, but isn't sort of, it's not too in your face. It's a little bit softer, which is easier on the eyes. Tone, just 0. I don't mess with the tone. I don't see much point messing with the tone. Even on the flattest profile, I tend to just make sure the tone's on like 0. Canon's kind of nailed that one. So there you go. Let me know in the comments below what you think. What picture profile do you use? I mean, for the longest time, I was just using the flat profile, tweaked it a little bit here and there to try to make my own flat quasi-log sort of image. I used that for the longest time, but I found it a little bit inconsistent. Whereas this one, I find this one, the only time I get inconsistencies is if I leave my white balance on auto instead of locking it in when I'm doing studio stuff like this. So there you go, that is the picture profile that I use, my slightly modified, faithful picture profile. I think it's a good balance. It gives me some flexibility in the edit where I can still have some detail in the shadows, but it can still play with the colors and the contrast a little bit without it being too much work. It means I can get through my edits a lot quicker for YouTube anyway. Hopefully this is something that's useful to you. If it is, let me know in the comments below. Also share what you use, because I'm always looking to improve. I might have been working on this one for a while, but it doesn't mean that I've got the best one. So what are you using? Let me know below and share it with everybody else who watches and everything. And yeah, share the knowledge. That's what this is about, right? And I don't know, this is my outro. Hooray. Like, subscribe, I guess. This is awkward. I don't really know where else to go from here. This whole video is probably like 2 minutes. It's not really much to say. You're probably not even watching now. You're probably gone into the distance a long time ago. What can I say? I'm not good at outros. I'm just staring at my face in the flippy up screen at the moment. Looks good. I think it looks good. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks good? I can see my eyes. I've got the light lowered today, so I can see my eyes better. I think it's good. Different background. I really am waffling. This is going to make my edit so much harder. I don't know why I'm sitting around and talking to the camera pointlessly like this. This is ridiculous. I should be banging this video out so you guys can watch it. Okay, bye.